Hello everyone, and welcome to the April 7th, 2019 edition of the Astrology News Report. I'm your intrepid host, Ron Berger. In this segment, we'll take a look at the upcoming planetary patterns and predictions, what's on the celestial agenda for April 7th to April 14th and beyond. But before beginning, a little reminder to viewers to please help out covering the costs of keeping this weekly report going. Stick around for the link at the end of the video to make your donation. So the main topic I want to talk about this week is the situation with Jupiter, which begins a retrograde period on Wednesday, April 10th. Jupiter goes through a 4-month-long retrograde period each year. Prior to beginning its retrograde period, the planet appears to stop moving in the zodiac for a couple of weeks, a condition called stationary. Jupiter entered sidereal Scorpio last October, and now, having traveled all the way through that sign, Jupiter is stationary at 0 degrees Sagittarius, as it prepares to go retrograde this week. The borderline between a water sign, in this case Scorpio, and a fire sign, in this case Sagittarius, has a special designation in Vedic astrology called Gandant. This is considered to be an especially weak area of the zodiac. A planet transiting in the Gandant Degrees loses its capacity to produce results. Paradoxically, a retrograde planet is considered powerful. That's because, due to the arrangement of the planets in the solar system, a planet only goes through a retrograde phase when it is on the same side of the Sun as the Earth, in other words, close to our planet, therefore bright in the heavens, therefore stronger than usual, but not operating normally. In this case, we can assume Jupiter will regain strength once it gets out of the Gandant Degrees. Jupiter is the planet of truth, the planet of morals and ethics, the planet of justice and law. So, having Jupiter weakened in the Gandant Degrees puts all of these significations in doubt. And in fact, what we are experiencing right now in world events. England is on the ropes with Brexit. Donald Trump is trying to do an end run around the special counsel's report. The Congress is teetering on what judicial justification it has for getting its hands on Trump's tax documents. Threats and counter-threats on who has the law on their side. A retrograde planet is retracing its steps in the zodiac, in other words, going back to revisit the previously traversed degrees of the last few months. So here we have the planet of truth, justice, and law revisiting recent past events. It's also the planet of wisdom, going back to the past. In other words, seeking wisdom from a re-examination of what has transpired. That's good for introspection, too. And Jupiter is the planet of opportunity. When it backs up in the zodiac, it signifies going back to the past to recultivate past opportunities, those which didn't pan out initially. But overall, the retrograde condition signifies delay for the planet's significations. Thus, justice gets delayed, prosperity is postponed, and optimism is less than might be otherwise. After a few weeks of retrograde movement, Jupiter will return to Scorpio. Jupiter continues to back up in Scorpio for the next 4 months until mid-August. That's the planet of truth and justice going back to the past, while in the sign of secrets and investigations. So, you can imagine what that will look like. Another thing about this Jupiter retrograde situation, Jupiter rules the sign Sagittarius. At the end of Sagittarius, presently, there's a nasty 3-planet combination happening. Saturn, Pluto, and Ketu, all of which qualify as natural malefics, in other words, capable of causing harm. As the ruler of Sagittarius, Jupiter becomes the dispositor of this planetary pattern. That means that the energy of these three nasties gets transferred to Jupiter. Normally, Jupiter is considered to be the great benefic, in other words, the good guy in Vedic astrology. But now, with it representing Saturn, Pluto, and Ketu, we have a retrograde Jupiter which has got some extra energy of a dubious nature, and thus the potential to behave in a decidedly non-benefic manner. How does this all pan out in terms of events? Well, let's just say that we can't take this Jupiter retrograde period for granted. The planet of truth and justice and belief and prosperity and wisdom will surely be manifesting in some unusual ways during the coming months. Of course, I will be commenting on it as we go along. Another item happening this week is the exact conjunction of Venus and Neptune. The planet of love, agreements, guidance, and finance is combining forces with the planet of fantasies, illusion, delusion, and deception. So, probably not a good thing for Venus significations. Guidance is suspect. Romance is prone to fantasy, or even outright delusional. And note that Mercury, planet of rational thinking, which was conjunct Neptune during the past week, is still not out of the woods yet. Along with Jupiter being retrograde and Gandant, we can see that the astrology patterns for this week are creating a lot of uncertainty and confusion, putting things under a cloud of doubt. The situation changes in another week, when Venus and Mercury will have moved on in the zodiac and escaped from Neptune's influence. More on that in next week's episode. Okay, that's all the time I have for this week. And now, before leaving, a short pitch for donations. You can show your appreciation for what this YouTube channel does for you and help keep it going by donating a few bucks to the cause. Just click on or touch the donation card you see here, which will take you to the donation page. Thanks, and until next week.